After I made this particular kite and flew it, it flew really, really well. And yet I decided I wanted to put a hole in it, a vent, to see how it affected the flight of the kite. Now, this hole obviously is round, and it's centered a little bit below where the wingtip to wingtip line crosses the spine, which is right here. So the majority of the hole is below that, and a little bit is above. Well, this worked pretty well. And what I found out was that the effect of this hole allowed the kite to fly in much, much stronger winds without acting overpowered. Without the hole, in the same wind speed, the kite would fold up and act, just totally overpowered. And that did not happen with the vent. The other thing that occurred was that when the wind got choppy, turbulent, and gusty, the hole in the kite smoothed out the flight of the kite. It didn't smooth it completely, but definitely very, very noticeable, and a big improvement. It allowed me to control the kite much better and enjoy the flight more. The one thing also the hole did was it slowed down the forward speed of the kite a tiny bit. And yet, I think overall the hole improved the kite performance. Now, you can make the hole any size you want. You can put it anywhere on the sail. Some kite makers put a mesh, very fine mesh, like a bridal veil type of a mesh, over the cutout area on the sail to maintain the sail integrity. I don't do that. I put tape around the perimeter of my cutout to help strengthen that part, but otherwise I leave it just as a whole. And I really do like the way it flies. Now, you can put holes anywhere and multiple holes if you want. This kite I made, I put 2 half-circle holes in the kite for vents. Now, I haven't flown this kite yet, so I don't know how it'll respond to that. But I also drew 2 additional areas where I plan to add additional venting if these 2 prove to be beneficial. Now, the hole shape can be anything from round, semicircle, triangular, rectangular, square, makes no difference. And you can put it anywhere on the sail. I have discovered that if it's below the line that connects the 2 wingtips of the kite, if the entire hole is below that area, the kite does not perform well. So I will tell you that, don't do that. Or you can do it, but don't expect it to fly a lot better. It'll fly worse. And so I don't put them there anymore. Now, it doesn't have to be a diamond-shaped kite to put a vent in it. A good friend of mine who is a marvelous kite maker made this buka and put a hole in the center of the buka. And this kite flies beautifully well. And in turbulent winds, it really performs very smoothly compared to not having that hole there. So venting has many different benefits, and only one, so far that I've discovered, one potential negative, and it depends on the person as to whether it's a positive or a negative, but it does very, very slightly reduce the forward speed attained by the kite in a given wind. Now this is a kite that is square, and it has a vent around a centerpiece. So the vent is square, but just a thin strip of air goes through here, but it really does improve the flight of the kite. So this has, really, this is a square kite that I cut the hole out, and then I attached the center section because the amount of air that went through this hole slowed the kite down too much for me. So what I did is to reduce the hole size by putting a little piece of sail material in the center part of that existing hole. And that worked out pretty well. And around the perimeter of the hole, I put tape to reinforce that area of the kite. And this kite flies really nice. It's not a fast flying kite per se because it's fairly large and soft in terms of the spars are very flexible, but it is a wonderful kite to fly. It really is fun, and as long as you're not trying to go for high speed. So if you have a kite and you think it flies pretty well, you might make another one of the same pattern and put a vent in it. And you may surprise yourself and find out that it's actually a big improvement that you prefer. Now what I'm talking about here is the flyer's preference for the way the kite performs. And that to me is really, really the most important thing in finding a fighter kite and adjusting it and tuning it and making it so it's the right kite for you.